programming to give people who wouldn't necessarily go on a cultural educational trip that experience, and we wanted to include people from a variety of social classes. We wanted to really create an inclusive project and have a good experience.
The trip was intended for cultural and educational stuff.
It was educational discovery, not only for me, but I hope for other participants too.
I got to be part of a group which I wouldn't have been before, but I also got to go to all these educational classes.
The adult learning project actually has a sister project in Barcelona, which is La Verneda.
La Verneda is the centre of adult learning, which we visited in Barcelona. Paulp Freire, he was Brazilian, and he had this concept of education which was called, I think, dialogical. It's incredibly long words, where people actually participate in their educational programme and have a much greater input. I think we saw that fairly clearly in La Verneda when we went to the musical appreciation class.
The aim of the project was to connect with a sister project, La Verneda, to experience the joy of Catalan football. It was a place where, under Franco, people could go and speak Catalan. The Catalans made football literacy programme had been fascinated by the Barcelona football team. Graham Hunter was the archetypal sports journalist, the leading Spanish, Scottish sports journalist in the world, really. Cover Sky TV, was the archetypal masculine, know it all about football, but it was also the contradiction. It was a joy to be with.
There's only one way to describe him. He was a geezer. He was full of knowledge.
He made us very welcome and made sure we were comfortable. It was a contradiction between the sort of sensitivity, the sensitive passion of the men's group, then straight into the hard-nosed journalese of Scottish and Spanish football.
My favourite was obviously the Barcelona football game. That was just amazing. I've never ever seen anything or will ever see anything like that again.
It was the most beautiful football I've ever seen in my life. It was a joy to watch. It was an education in how to play football.
The main purpose of the trip was educational cultural exchange. The focus was several classes that we went to. We went to a number of classes, La Verneda School, Pasepa, Montserrat as well, and we went to the main session, the CNT visit as well.
I went in my capacity as a translator. Having lived in Spain for a very long time, not only would I be able to help in any kind of translation problems, but also if there were any difficulties that we came across.
I'm Billy Forbes, I'm the director of the ALP Association.
I also got to go to all these educational classes, which obviously I haven't been before, so it was really enlightening for me.
There's a lot of similarities between Catalonia, its relationship with Madrid, and Scotland.
They've got their own flag and things like that, and speak their own language.
Get to create a good diet, and it's how that's orientating in the house. So I'm just going to translate that.
The women's group was difficult. They didn't necessarily welcome men into the group.
These were women of particular age, women who were out of education. I found them very energetic, very enthusiastic.
I felt there was an enormous difference between our women's groups and the women's group there, I know that they did not like them in there, because some of these women have actually suffered.
There was a lady in the audience who happened to be slightly older than myself. So that was quite an achievement for me, because at my age it was a great delight to be invited by an 86-year-old Catalan, a lovely lady, an invitation to share a glass of wine.
Before the association, and who are worried about equality. So we are really very different people. So
whereas a men's group, we sat in a table and we had topics to talk about. And what do you think of the films? Because it was 3 different films to choose from too, so I felt they had a much better choice of variety and topic.
I found it very interesting because the discussion was built up around using art, using film as a starting point for discussion. Also the topic was interesting because usually a lot spoken about violence against women, but not too much is said about violence against men.
They are like touching some issues that normal people would not think about.
That was the opposite of my memory of the education system in Scotland, certainly in primary school.
About giving opportunities to children to voice their opinions and to be educated in a liberal and democratic way.
And they were overjoyed to see us. One wee boy asked about the Loch Ness Monster.
And it's about providing opportunities for parents too. So not leaving them outside of school, not leaving them on the margins of society.
The CNT. The CNT was actually collating an incredible record of anarchist material way back to the Civil War.
I think for me that was the highlight, because as a community worker it was rooted right in the high-rise blocks in a working class estate. That I found that inspiring, and also the connection with the Republican left who aimed to set up a Catalan state.
Well, I found some projects a bit utopian and realistic. For example, when the guy was talking about Catalonian independence.
And looking at the archives of the Spanish Civil War, the war against Franco, and what happened to these people when they were taken onto the beach in Barcelona and shot. And those that survived were they were forced into labour and had to create horrendous, horrible monuments of General Franco.
Independence is good only if it brings better life for people, socially and economically.
But you know, the conversation was heavy and very deep, really deep, and it went on and on.
I didn't think it went on too long because it's something which absolutely fascinates me.
The purpose was to engage learners in learning activities with and our adult learning projects in Barcelona.
Teaching of hope compared to the kind of teaching of despair that we felt as a new group setting off in quite of unclear, uncharted territory.
You had your people that you got along with, you had your people that you didn't get along with.
The gelling came at the end, obviously, because at the beginning you had to have the strife. You have to have the conflict, because we didn't know each other.
Definitely we gelled more to the end.
I met people who were from such different backgrounds. We were all so diverse and we needed to get on with each other. And for me that is one of the most magnificent aspects of the trip.
There's a museum in here, it's closed at the moment.
And you have a beautiful dream about Barcelona once you've been there, because you'll always remember Barcelona.
I would repeat something like that, absolutely.